Together.
Right here, please, together. Right again. Chris next to him.
Hey, babe. One more time, David. Did you look? Smile. Is it much better? The awkward family.
We did it, guys.
Yeah,
We did it.
First, guys. Go this way one.
Royale cheese.
Royale. Awesome.
I think any horror movie should be experienced within a community, but this movie specifically, you should have family around because you're going to want to grasp onto somebody because you'll be scared. In any culture, there's some kind of boogeyman, and it can stand for anything. It can stand for any kind of anxiety, so you can personalize it and internalize it in any kind of way. So that's why it's scary. It's not like just a specific kind of Victorian ghost. It's the boogeyman. I hope the audiences are scared, but then also take away an emotional story about a family.
We're back in the cinemas. We're back in that incredible sacred place where we gather in the dark and where we cheer and we yell, but in a freaking horror movie like this, we're gonna scream together, and then you have that collective sigh of relief when you laugh at how loud you just screamed. That to me is like, it's one of the life experiences that is, nothing really compares to it. I'm so grateful I get to be a part of this. So what the boogeyman represents, what is the boogeyman? We've all always wondered that, and what Rob Savage and the rest of the team have done so eloquently with this film is crafted a monster that really evokes the horror that we feel in both our suffering, our trauma, in mourning, in loss, in feeling isolated, in feeling lonely. That's something everybody can relate to. So when people watch this movie and audiences are sitting in the cinemas, they're going to feel like they're part of this family. They're going to feel the horror and dread that they feel when that thing comes creeping out of the closet. It's really powerful.
It feels amazing. I think this has kind of always been my dream as an actress, to be standing here where lots of amazing and respected actors have standed. I'm just so excited. I think with the Boogeyman, the reason to see it in theaters is because you get to look around and you get to see other people as they watch it, and I feel like that's the most amazing part of watching a horror movie in a theater, because you get to see other people scream with you, and you can't really get that experience at home, which is just great. The scariest horror movies are always the ones that are most realistic, and this one, really the theme is grief, and if you can't let go of it, it'll come back and haunt you. And I mean, that's something we've all dealt with, and it's just so realistic that it makes it scary for anybody who's ever dealt with that, which is all of us.
You know, I think this is a movie where you want to just jump and hold the person next to you. You want to be in a dark theater with strangers, having a universal experience. I mean, that's why I wanted to be an actor. Those experiences as a kid with my family. So it's great to be here. Look, there's a really scary monster, and that's awesome, and there's some huge jump scares, but you can't have jump scares without caring about the characters and the people. I think the director did a great job of dealing with grief. This is a family that's been in super hard times and they're struggling. And the Boogeyman is exactly what they need, and it kind of brings them together.
I think seeing it with other people, like, at least for me, I'm a very vocal movie watcher, and so gasping and screaming with other people, I think is an amazing experience, and it's going to be really fun. Well, I think the Boogeyman applies to just like anything in the dark, and like it's so. I think it applies to so many things that are terrifying, and I think like growing up it was always sort of this looming threat. I always thought the Boogeyman was here, and I think the Boogeyman is.
I think horror works with a big crowd better than any other genre. You know when a horror movie's working, you know that every single person, hundreds of people in the same room are having the exact same experience as you. You can feel the tension rising, you can hear everyone scream. It's like being on a roller coaster. It's the best feeling. I think every single culture in the world has their version of a boogeyman. It's the first thing that we're scared of as children. And one of my aims with this movie was to make us as adults feel like kids again, being scared in our bedrooms, terrified of the darkness of the closet. This film is almost like an adaptation of the short story and a sequel to the short story all in one. We build from the short story and create our own mythology from the groundwork that Stephen King laid down.
It's a group experience. It's all the emotions you feed off with everybody else. It's being a part of something in a way that you can't really experience and feed off of alone at home. I mean, look, it's all about family and coming together in the face of tragedy. It's about really hearing each other. And look, a lot of it's a fun thrill ride, but it deals with trauma in a different kind of way.
It feels incredible. We work so hard on this movie. We have an incredible cast. We have an incredible director, Rob Savage, and just excited to be here after working so hard in New Orleans shooting this movie, and excited to scare some people. I mean, I don't know about you. Even though I make them, I cover my eyes during most horror movies, and there's something about being scared together, screaming together, reaching out and grabbing the person next to you, and just having this shared communal experience and enjoying it together. I mean, this is really the way it's meant to be seen.
I mean, you always want to see a great horror movie, I think, with an audience, and the scares are really great, but I think what we've also noticed is that it really gets its like emotional hook in you, and people really connect with these characters. So I think that combo is a pretty rare and like must as a theatrical experience. So yeah.
I mean, to have a jump scare at home is one thing, but to see other people jump in front of you and scream, it makes it all worth it, and it's infectious too. So horror, it deserves a theatrical release. I think everyone grew up hearing about the Boogeyman, and Stephen King's great short story, which traumatized me as a kid, made the closet the scariest place of all. So I think everyone's had this fear of what's behind that slowly creaking door, and I just think that it's universal to all cultures, to all ages.
The Boogeyman in the world of horror films is a jump ball. There's no iconic go-to thing, so I feel like our hope all along with what Rob would say this to our director, we want to make the definitive Boogeyman movie, but our hope is that people see some iconic scares and just love it.